Am I being a bitch-ass hater if I'm saying I'm starting to get annoyed by Jameis Winston?
You know, Jameis Winston is the preacher that's too good at preaching.
That's a technical foul.
Welcome back to Technically Foul. This is episode 9. I'm your co-host, Brandon Legendre, with my other beautiful co-hosts.
I am John Carden.
Dude, welcome back. Episode 9, we're here. I want to say fuck you to the NFL odds makers. Eagles, underdogs, +3 against the Bengals. They were acting like the Eagles sucked. We're a Saquon Barkley catch away from being 5-1, now 6-1. They act like Joe Burrow, the 3-4 Bengals, were going to be able to do anything against us. That limp arm fuck. He has tendonitis in his wrist. He can't hold a football. He has carpal tunnel from jerking off and putting the dye he does in his hair. His Eminem hair looks so fucking terrible. I'm so mad that people acted like the Eagles were just going to get shitpiled.
It looks more like Abby Wambach now.
Yes, yeah. And the more he loses, the sadder the blonde hair gets. It gains more of a personality. It's awesome. Every time they'd cut to him fucking pouting, little baby ass. He looks like Eminem at the Grammys, like when he's just sitting there like, no one wants me here. And then Jamar Chase is sitting here the whole offseason saying he needs to get paid $1 more than Justin Jefferson. Quinyon Mitchell, a rookie, held him to 2 catches for 12 yards. Bum. Cooper DeJean, white boy, balled out, tackled him, 4th and 1, stopped him.
I love that we're starting with a little bit of Joe Burrow hate, a little bit of salt, dude. Does it feel good to have a good team?
It does.
Does it feel good?
Yeah. He looked cool through. You guys were winning for a minute. That was cool.
Yeah, for about 3 minutes and 14 seconds, we had the lead in that game.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Sean Payton pulls out his old annexation of
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, How do you say it?
Annexation of Puerto Rico.
Annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Why don't want to put an extra Zuzza in there?
It's like there is X in there, but you don't need to enunciate it so much.
Also, I probably shouldn't have smoked.
I mean, also, why are we asking me if it's the me saying
right?
yes doesn't guarantee anything. As soon as I went, yeah, that's how it was, I was like, I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, annexation. Annexation. Yeah, there's no second X. It's the X at the start, and then the X makes you want to do an X on the T.
Yeah,
sound.
the Puerto Rico play. That lovely, beautiful island of Puerto Rico. The lovely, beautiful, tropical vacation paradise of Puerto Rico.
Zero
Clean,
garbage.
Zero, just a beautiful,
Trash
immaculate place.
Good plumbing systems.
Absolutely.
Great place. Big fan of it. 51st state in my eyes. That's how much I fuck with it.
Me too.
Guam's 52nd. Too far to be the 51st.
I love Puerto Rico so much. I'm going to get my nails done after this.
Nice, I like that.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if this is my girlfriend's from Costa Rica, and I constantly tell her she's from Puerto Rico. That pisses her off, you know. So that's I'm always rooting for the Puerto Ricans deep down. Yeah.
Sean McVay was doing some shit. Sean Payton. Sorry.
Sean Payton. Kevin James was doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, Kevin James was doing some fucking annexation of Puerto Rico shit.
No, he went in. They went in after that first touchdown. He called him to the sideline and he pulled him close. He goes, "I'll give $100 to whoever fucks up Bryce Young." And they're relaunching the bounty program in fucking Denver, and they're back now.
Dude, he was on the sideline drawing plays on the fat kid's tummy.
Yeah, no, they. It was like a close game, and then I fell asleep for a nap, and I woke up, and I was like, oh, yeah, thank God I talked myself out of betting on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Because I almost was like, this is Bryce Young's game. And, like, to Bryce Young's defense, dog, Deontay Johnson was out. You guys had some other banged-up players on offense were out. Defense was missing some guys.
I mean, Derek Brown's out for the season.
Yeah, like, I don't know why. It was Thielen and Deontay Johnson were out. I don't know who Xavier Legarrett's good, but like
probably because we're about to trade him.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, Deontay Johnson's going to be gone. You know, it's an expiring contract, and he's not going to re-sign with us. I wouldn't re-sign with us.
No, I don't know why anyone would sign unless you just like really like David Tepper. Like you just want to hang. You want him to hang out when he shows up to restaurants and argues with waitresses and stuff. Like, because you like his style, his hands-on style.
The thing is you could argue for Tepper a little bit. Like the Jacksonville thing where he threw the drink at the fan. I watched the whole video, and the Jacksonville fan was being a fucking douche. I mean, he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like talking shit about players' kids and their wives and shit. And it's like, I get it. I know you don't care because I know you. I know you would be on the sideline being like, yo, fuck your autistic kid, Doug Flutie.
I'm also a former player in some sense where I do understand, like, the fans chirping. I'm all for, like, a fan chirping. You want to say you suck, all that, but when you start, like, personally attacking players, you have to be like, there's that bullshit illusion where they're like, I'm in the stands and you can't do shit, and it's like, motherfucker, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
It was someone did that this weekend. It was a basketball player. I believe it was, I want to say it was Dennis Schroeder did it maybe, but someone was talking shit on Ben Simmons as they walked through, and he stopped and came back out and was like, no, what the fuck were you saying? Come here, bro. Come be a grown man and say it to his fucking face. And the guy like pussied out. And I was like, I like that.
Well, you remember Marcus Smart back in the day at Oklahoma State when he said the dude called him the N-word and he pushed him down. That was a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, Malice in the Palace is the greatest. Making
Malice
the fans
in the Palace.
shut the fuck up.
Steven Jackson had a great quote from that when he was on Dan Le Batard like a couple years later. He's like, other than the $1 million that it cost me, he said, it did cost me $1 million. He goes, other than the $1 million it cost me.
Yeah.
He goes, if you ask me if I would do it again, abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, yeah, that's legendary. And, God, how many times have fans said shit and he's not done something and wished he had?
Yeah.
He finally let it out.
Yeah.
They finally let that shit out.
You hearing all that shit night after night after night. You know one of my favorite shit-talking legends, and you can look it up if you want because it's a pretty good story. Charles Haley. Do you know?
Okay.
Do you remember Charles Haley?
Yes.
He's before your time.
Yes,
but,
but I'm familiar with who he is.
He was 49ers and then Cowboys, famous Cowboys defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
But Charles Haley, look up shit talk next to it. He was fucking famous about offensive linemen for like talking about like their wives, talking about their mothers, talking about like deep, dark, heinous shit.
Yeah, this is, oh my God. Yeah, there's like so many articles of him talking about it. It's kind of funny because he's like, there's like some stuff coming out that he feels kind of bad about it. Like,
yeah,
he looks back on it and it kind of depresses him, the mean shit he was saying. You know how foul you got to be to like look back and be like, man, that was messed up.
The shit that you said, not the shit that you did. You said stuff so fucked up that you need to reflect. Yeah, Charles Haley would say some messed up stuff when he was on the line, dude.
He has a famous quote where he says, "Are you asking me if mental illness made me a better football player? Yes." I love that. Oh yeah, this guy's a psychopath. I'm
He was one of my favorite players growing up.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to find out. Like, can you imagine somebody in their 20s now that was a huge Antonio Brown fan? You know, or a huge Gilbert Arenas fan.
Yeah.
You know, now you just see him completely like you see him for what they were. Like, well, am I crazy?
Dude, yeah.
Why did I gravitate to that?
Yeah, why? Yeah, when you were just like kind of supporting a scumbag.
Yeah.
And you look back and you're like, oh, that wasn't cool for me to be like, oh yeah, this guy, he's the man. I love how he's shitting on these people, how he's being a god-awful teammate, how he's ruining a franchise. That's so cool of him.
Yeah.
Not really.
I know. You got to be like, I bought the jersey of the dude that called Caitlin Clark's bush hairy.
Yeah.
You got to own that.
Yeah, the guy who wore it to like, there's like hundreds of pictures of him at frat parties.
Yeah.
Wearing an Antonio Brown jersey, and you're like, that's not the coolest look now,
no.
you know? It's
no,
not...
but his life's like falling apart, and now you're like, it's starting to click. You picked the wrong heroes.
See, but this is also my like dilemma of what you're saying, where if I like the fans being able to yell or not. It's the same person who like then tells you it's not okay to wear an Antonio Brown jersey or a Hernandez jersey or an OJ jersey. I don't know. Grow the fuck up. It's like the heckling fan. Dude, I get if they're calling you slurs or like, you know, let's say you have like a child who maybe has like a disease and they're attacking that. I understand the rage. But if this guy's like, hey, fucking John Carden, you suck. You suck so bad. I bet your wife gets sad when you eat her pussy. I'm going to eat her pussy better. And you get mad. You're like, he said he ate my wife's pussy. You're the loser now. You can't let that bother you.
I know. You have to have an iron, basically an iron, what's it, will or fucking.
And I don't know what the line is, though, because I do agree there's a line where it should be like, all right, go whoop his ass.
Yeah, there has to be a line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't think there is one. I think you just allowed to go as far as you want to go as long as you don't touch them. It's okay. It's like a zoo. You know what I mean? You can show your dick to a gorilla.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get in there, it's fine.
Yeah, no,
But it's I'm just saying.
Yeah, show a dick to a gorilla is a good one. Yeah. Don't go in there. Can't be mad if it rips you apart when you're in there.
No. But I mean, but it is, and I hate using the zoo comparison for athletes, but it is very much, especially what the Cowboys do, where they do the fucking tours while they're working out, and people are like banging on the glass.
That is so wild that is a real thing.
I saw that Dalton Schultz was talking about it earlier a couple days ago, and it's just like, what? I didn't even realize they're the only team in the NFL that does that, and it's like $40. Dude, for $40, you can go like look at NFL players like they're zoo animals.
Well, it doesn't help that your owner looks like he's made of ivory.
He really does.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the last dude with ivory teeth. Like, Jerry Jones looks like he still gets like slave teeth put in his mouth.
Dude, he looks like the last man to shoot a rhinoceros legally.
Yeah. He's the only dude with like rhinoceros pajamas.
Yeah.
He's just a weird fuck. So it doesn't help that Jerry Jones is displaying his players like legit zoo animals, and then looks how he does, behaves how he does. There's, comments and backing. I mean, he didn't make the prison comment. That was the Texans owner. But I'm pretty sure he was right there like, preach, brother. Preach, brother. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Jerry Jones is in a realm of his own. He's in his own little world. I don't understand how old people can stay in power as long as they do.
Mm-hmm.
Biden and Jerry Jones are proof that maybe the system's a little broken. When's the last time you looked at an 80-year-old dude and wanted him to do anything for you? Like,
no.
Could you imagine asking an 80-year-old dude to come over and help you move a couch?
No.
Could you ask an 80-year-old dude to, you know what I mean? Would you call your 80-year-old grandpa for anything other than like, maybe financial, some sort of advice, his birthday, you know what I mean? Not even that. You're going to call dad. Dad's the one that's in it. Grandpa's done.
Yeah, it's just, I don't want a guy running the country or running a team who like was around for like the Packer sweep and no seatbelt laws. You don't understand the game anymore, okay?
You were there before you had to blow for a DUI.
There's battery-powered cars that go 0 to 60 in 1 second. There's 250-pound running backs. You can't comprehend this anymore. The running backs don't have to go work at a meat factory after this. They don't have to go live the real Rocky experience after a game. These are athletes who are getting acupuncture and things that your mind can't comprehend. You know what I mean? Like, he's the same guy that if 20 years ago he's like, I got acupuncture, all his friends were like, you're gay. And now his running back's like, I spend $2 million a year on that. He can't comprehend it.
Yeah, but imagine how much money he spent in Jupiter, Florida with Robert Kraft.
Yeah, he did. That's the crazy thing too. Those guys had to spend a bag because they like, it's got to be like renting a podcast studio. They're like, look, you get a hand job, you get it till you come or an hour. And then that lady was sitting there like, you're going to have to pay for another hour. This is crazy. He's at half mast. She's having to like raise a flag. She's pulling the rope, going and going and going.
She's bringing him Viagra smoothies.
Yeah. She's like the first prostitute that's not coming in with like a fake name like Jade. She's like, I'm Dorothy. Nice to meet you. He's like, oh, Dorothy. Jerry Jones, this is a good segue into like, please stop letting owners be GMs.
Yeah, it's got to stop.
And owners need to stop being old people, especially if they're going to have any role on the player. We got two of like the prime examples this weekend of that. One, why did you give Dak Prescott so much money?
It makes no sense.
John, explain this to me.
He's missing 5-yard out routes to Ferguson. He's missing like over the middle crossers, late throws. It's insane the throws that he's missing. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was actually taking up for him a little bit from like the Steelers game. Not the Steelers game. There's another game.
The one where they came back against the Steelers and he threw a touchdown on
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
The Ravens game,
but the Detroit
like
game, Detroit game was the one that got fucking blown out, right? There was a couple of plays during that game where I would say CD quit on like maybe 3 or 4 routes.
Yeah.
Ferguson even quit on a few routes. And it's like there was second chance opportunities for second plays, and there was just nobody was hustling for the second plays. They had given up by halftime. Well, and I understand that. So like, a lot of it makes Dak look worse than he actually is.
Definitely.
So I do think. But last night I'm watching Dak Prescott. And I'm telling you, man, there's some throws that you have to make as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
You have to be able to make an out route. You have to be able to throw over the shoulder throws, and you have to be able to throw down the middle timing wise perfectly. Purdy is 5'7" and 145 pounds.
Yeah.
He looks like a little giant out there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And this man can throw the ball accurately on the run, on the move, and do all the things that you need an NFL quarterback to do, more so than Dak Prescott can, and he's making a fraction of the money.
Yeah, well, and that's the crazy thing. This is why this isn't on Dak anymore. This is on Jerry Jones. You made this saga happen 3 years ago. You could have paid Dak Prescott $28 million to $30 million a year to be your quarterback. We've talked about on here, no NFL contract is really 5 years. It's 3. You pay him 3 years of guaranteed money, and you renegotiate then. They had that. They chose 2 years in a row to franchise tag him, which made them have to delay his salary. So this year, because they did that, on books, he's 60 to 70 million in the salary cap because you chose to franchise tag him, which again made sense if you walked away. Franchise tag him one more year. It was the last year, or let him walk
and let him go be a Jet.
This was the final year that you were going to be able to do that. You did it for 2 years again because it's the whole thing. Like, look, Jalen Hurts has had his ups and downs, but we paid him 2 years ago. So he's a $32 million quarterback. He's well worth that compared to what QBs are getting paid now. That's how the market works. You had an opportunity to pay him nothing or close to now what can be considered a deal. You waited. He's now you now gave him a giant $50 million contract. He has to now be on your team for 3 more years because you fucked up. It was a super mishandling.
Yeah.
If you sign him for $32 million, Cowboy fans, guess who you signed this offseason? Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Because you had the money. But you didn't, and you had to pay CeeDee Lamb, and you had to pay Dak Prescott this offseason, which could have been handled.
Well, they kept waiting for him to prove himself. And I think that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, prove yourself, take us to the Super Bowl or the playoffs.
And then he didn't, and they paid him.
But they had to pay him anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you got a really fucking hot girlfriend and the engagement's going too long. You know, and she's like, marry me, and then, you know, she's starting to degrade a little bit by the time you marry her, and it's not really worth it.
Or she does the ultimatum and she walks, and now you're in a shitty situation, and you're like, oh, woe is me. I didn't know I had such a good thing. You had every opportunity to handle this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like you said. You could have proposed at 5 years and gotten her a decent ring, a 1-carat ring, and she would have been fine. But you fucked off so long, she's pissed. You got to buy her a 3-carat ring now, and you're stuck with it.
Actually, I think the Dak thing and the Jerry Jones thing is more like this. It's like leasing a car twice and then buying it.
Yes.
That's the perfect analogy because you leased it twice. You did 2 franchise tags. You had your fucking opportunity right then to buy the goddamn car.
Yeah.
You knew what it was. It doesn't matter if it's taking you to the promised land. It's getting you from point A to point B in relative fucking comfort. You can build around that. Dak can be a game manager. If you can build a top 10 defense, then you've got a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not asking Dak to go out and, you know, come back from 14 points a game and do this 14 points every game and do these miraculous things, then who knows what you're capable of as the Dallas Cowboys. But the truth is that you're right. They had all these opportunities to fucking commit to Dak.
They had that defense you're talking about, and Dak proved that he was the reason they couldn't win with it. They lost that defense and then chose to re-sign him.
Yeah.
I
mean, you had the potential to make that defense better.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, Parsons is out right now, and I think Parsons is the best defensive player in the league.
He's so good.
You know, but that's just, they had so many chances, dude. You had so many chances to do it the right way. And I mean, who am I to talk? I'm a Panthers fan. You know what I mean? I understand where I'm coming from in my franchise.
Everything is going to be like, oh, well, you're not wearing Panthers gear today, but they would literally be like, oh, from a fucking Panthers fan.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not talking about this as a Panthers. I'm talking about this as a sports fan and as a fan of professional football. As I've been. If you're going to be a fan of a shitty franchise like the Carolina Panthers right now, you better be a fan of fucking football.
Yes.
You better be able to turn on another game and enjoy it.
100%. But it's also funny for them to act like you can't talk shit it takes trash to know trash.
Absolutely.
You know?
Nobody knows trash more than me.
If we were talking about, like, dude, we had a clip about Kirk Cousins where some people didn't like that my pale ass was talking about black culture. Just the phrase black culture, because I'm not that. You don't want to hear a rich kid talk about being poor. You don't want to hear the Patriots fan, you know, now it's granted it's a little different, but you don't want to hear a Patriots fan 3 years ago talking about struggle.
Yeah.
A Panthers fan knows shit because you've been in the shit. So Cowboys fans, don't get upset that a Panthers fan's talking shit. Realize, hey, man, you're in the slums now. Look around who you're with.
Oh, I'm so sorry that Mark Cuban owned your basketball team and you were able to beat the Heat and have perennial success at basketball. Michael Jordan owned my favorite basketball team, and we couldn't make the goddamn playoffs. Michael fucking Jordan owned the Charlotte Hornets, and we couldn't make the goddamn playoffs.
In a league where, like, over half the teams make the playoffs now.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I know sadness. And Dallas Cowboys, you have every right to be sad. There's no reason that you should not be sad right now because your team has been mismanaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's being taken over by fucking old-ass Mr. Burns, fucking saggy skin-ass fucking overlord.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Palpatine.
Pops has the keys to the Cadillac,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to drive it into the wall before you take his license away. That's just what you got to deal with.
If I'm a Cowboys fan, if I'm the city of Dallas, the day Jerry Jones dies, I'm breaking out JFK's topless motorcade and putting Jerry Jones' dead body on it, and we're parading it around the city of Dallas. People will throw roses and flowers like it's the end of Star Wars Episode 1. Like they're gonna throw a festival.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones dying, like, I mean this. As an Eagles fan, I am gonna be devastated when Jerry Jones dies because the Cowboys are gonna become a better franchise.
Yeah.
There will not be a sadder day as an Eagles fan than the day that Jerry Jones dies because the Cowboys will have such a better chance of ending the drought and the thing we get to hold over them the most.
Amen.
It'll be a sad day. I'll pour one out for Jerry Jones. Not because I support him, but because I support how much the fucking Cowboys suck with him.
You know my daughter was born on the same day that George Steinbrenner died?
Whoa.
Isn't that weird?
Damn, so your daughter's like gonna be like the reincarnation of him?
My daughter could be the next, like, billionaire owner of a sports franchise.
That'd be sick.
I know.
You know what would suck? What if your kids were like the owner of a sports franchise, but they run it into the ground? That'd be devastating.
Yeah.
To watch, like, from a distance, like you're so proud. You're like, oh my God, my daughter, she owns the Panthers. Like, she's gonna fix it, and it's all exciting. And you tell your friends, and then in like 6 months, you start getting texts from like your closest boys. You're like, yo, tell your daughter to fucking bench Deshaun Watson Jr. This motherfucker sucks. He's trash. Get him off the field. Like.
It's actually happening. You know, they've passed teams down to, like, Jenny Buss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Dr. Jerry Buss owned the Lakers, and now Jenny Buss is the owner of the Lakers, and a lot of people want her to sell the fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it happens. You could, you know, there's family pass downs.
I mean, there's a family pass down happening in the NBA right now.
That's right.
LeBron James, Bronny Jr. checked in together.
He's going G League.
I mean, this guy, come on. I'm not trying to be a hater. It's a cool moment. Very happy for LeBron. I'm a Lakers fan. It's going to confuse some people. I know I'm wearing Eagles gear. For anyone who's like trying to follow Lakers, Angels, Golden Knights, Eagles, don't ask why, but I'm fans of them and I'll fight you. Oh, Tottenham Hotspurs. All teams that kind of suck, so whatever. They're like are good but never can seem to finish. I missed all of the good Lakers. I wasn't a fan of the Lakers when they won all the championships as a kid. I became a fan of the Lakers like when they won 12 games. That was my first season as a Lakers fan.
Was that after Kobe?
Yes. Yeah, I missed all the Kobe stuff
poor
too.
thing.
Yeah, I just like didn't give a fuck about basketball, and then I got into it and I was like, who's Robert Orr? Like who the fuck are these guys on this team right now?
Buddy, I was a fan with like the Charlotte Hornets when there was like Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning. That's when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was coming up. That was such a cool-ass team, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmama Johnson. It was, and everybody was wearing Hornets jerseys, too. It was like Hornets jerseys and Hornets jackets or Bulls.
Yeah.
We were like a cool-ass team in the 90s.
I mean, you guys in early 2000s, 90s, that colorway of like the sea green with like the purple, I think it is with it, is just, that starter jacket went like quadruple platinum in America.
Yeah, it went nuclear. That Hornets jacket was everything.
There's an amazing episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they do a flashback to the 90s episode, and Mac is a drug dealer, and he wears the jacket, and they just keep being like, why do you have a drug dealer jacket on? And he's like, this isn't a drug dealer jacket. Like, every drug dealer wears that jacket.
Yeah, that starter jacket.
Yeah,
dude.
it was legendary. But yeah, so Bronny and Bron are playing together. Cool moment. Like, happy for LeBron, but I mean, this is an ungodly level of nepotism that we're watching, right?
I know, but I mean, the thing what made the Griffey thing so cool is that it wasn't that.
Yes.
It was very much probably, his son not only just carried the torch, held it much higher, was much more talented than his father. I'm not saying Ken Griffey Sr. wasn't an amazing Hall of Fame baseball player. Ken Griffey Jr. was better.
100%.
Ken Griffey Jr. was a better baseball player, and he was he was more iconic.
Yeah.
All the stuff. Like, he was cool. Ken Griffey Jr. was like one of the first baseball players that was really just fucking cool.
I would argue that there is probably a lot of people. Obviously, if you're a junior, you have to have a senior. I think there's a lot of people that don't know that there was a Ken Griffey Sr. that played.
Yeah.
Because Ken Griffey Jr. is so legendary. I mean,
they played together on the Marlins.
Yeah.
And not the Marlins, the Mariners.
The Mariners. But the Ken Griffey Jr. shoes are still like a popular.
The video game? There was a baseball game?
Yeah. Any real baseball fan obviously knows Ken Griffey Sr., but I'm saying like a layman who just hears Ken Griffey Jr., you might not know that there's a senior, especially as we get farther and farther away from both of them.
Yeah.
But it's a cool moment, I guess. It feels fucked up.
It feels forced. And I think that's what sucks about it. Is that it feels forced. If there was this organic thing where the team was trying to do something good, but LeBron came out 2 or 3 years ago and was like, I'll retire when I can play with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, okay, we know what's coming. And now we know that he's going to play with his son. We know that, all these pieces are going to move, and not just the two players that are balling for the Lakers right now, Reeves and Connect, you know what I mean? Those two, if you watch them these last couple games,
they're
dude,
balling.
They're balling.
They're really good.
I'm not saying LeBron's playing out of his fucking mind.
Totally. LeBron's still great. It just is fucked up because, LeBron James Jr. shouldn't be in it. We have this shit happening now. Did you see it came out that it was the Warriors said that they were seriously considering taking Bronny James, which is just a lie, a few picks before, but they decided to pass to allow LeBron James to have the wishes to play with his kid. What the fuck soft ass shit is that, bro?
Yeah.
If I was the owner of the Warriors, I would draft Bronny James Jr.
I wouldn't trade him unless you gave me fucking Anthony. If you gave me Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I would take the phone call. I'd be like, oh, I get it. Let's get LeBron on the line. I'd be like, hey, I will trade you LeBron James Jr. if you trade me LeBron. I would make it impossible for him. You remember when they have Michael Jordan playing basketball forever, the Monstars have him do that? I'm making Bronny James Jr. do that in the G League. I am making him wear number 23. I'm making him wear number 23 for Jordan, not for LeBron. I'm bringing him, we're calling him Little Jordan. I'm rubbing it in LeBron's face that you can't play with his son. This soft-ass shit, we're just giving him, letting him go play with his kid. But honestly, maybe a great move by the owners to be like, let him take this bad player. There's some poor guy in the G League who deserves a roster spot more than him.
But also, you feel like LeBron is the dad that let his kid win? And there's a reason that Jordan's kids never became famous basketball players. It's because Jordan would never let them win.
Never.
You would be in a fucking you would be in the driveway or their private court, and it's like Game 7. You know what I mean? He's got Game 7 energy for you.
I bet you your Christmas gifts. I make this next shot.
Hell yeah!
Just waking up to Christmas, no gifts because you lost to your dad and pig.
Hey, if I make this, I'm about to fuck your mama. Boom! Oh, look at that.
Guess
Swish.
What? Didn't matter if I made it. Your mom's a hoe. You're like, Dad, stop.
Damn, that's your wife.
Please.
Oh man, if your dad played a sport, what would your dad play?
Man, that's the funny thing. I'm 6'3" and a former Division I football player. My dad is 5'7", and
we are so the opposite.
Yeah. We couldn't be more, because it's So my dad would be a tough a tough guy to get on to any team. I mean, realistically, if we had to talk athleticism, my dad's a phenomenal surfer. We'd be a good surf team, but for a more realistic team,
I feel like that's a realistic father-son sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them to like do that together, or compete against each other in surfing.
I don't think you retire. Like, I don't think you're one day like the waves keep getting younger and I keep getting older. Like, you're not. There's none of that happening in surfing. You're like,
I think Kelly Slater still surfs, and he's got to be in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah,
by
he's
now?
like, I'm high and I ate a breakfast burrito before this. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna have an acai bowl on the beach, and then let's go surf.
There's always a chance that we get eaten by a great white shark. None of this matters, dog. Oh, you guys worried about CTE? There's monsters below me. That wave is 3 Vince Wilforks on top of each other. You're a pussy, Aaron Donald.
You ever hang 10 over Jaws, bro?
Yeah, fact. Surfing might be the most badass sport now that I think about it.
Dude, I disagree. I think my dad told me when I was young, and my dad is a lot different than your dad.
Yeah.
My dad was 6'9", 300 pounds.
Oh shit.
Defensive end. Got signed his letter of intent for Virginia Tech. Ended up in Vietnam.
Damn. My dad served too. Peacetime. We really do have the fucking opposite dad.
We have the complete opposite dad.
Yeah, your dad's stories, you're like, and I was in a bunker for 6 days, and my dad was like, I got to see Bon Jovi right after they tore down the Berlin Wall. It was awesome. It's like, cool, man.
Your dad's like, dude, I ripped a doobie with a general.
Yeah, he was stationed in Germany during peace times, and like right after the wall fell, so he was like, yeah, man, I just chilled. I was a communications officer. I set up radio towers.
Oh, my dad was in Nam in 71,
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That was height of Agent Orange.
Yep, my dad was in there. He came back, with like, I was in the Quam Tree province, and the bouncing Betty took out fucking Johnson.
Yeah.
And Johnson was at the back. We had to drag him back. His little legs were kicking. That was my dad's story.
Yeah, you couldn't order Chinese to go because he'd attack the delivery driver when they showed up.
Dude, the 4th of July was a nightmare.
Oh, God. That actually, like, for real bums me out that, like, fireworks do freak veterans out.
Big
Because
time.
I'm like, dude.
Veterans and Labradors.
Labradors, yeah, this is a big side jump, but just when I go full smooth brain when I see fireworks. Fireworks and cranes make me just be like, oh, how do they explode? When I see a crane downtown, I go, that's a big crane. But a bigger crane had to build that crane. And a bigger crane had to build the biggest crane to build how big is the biggest crane that built the biggest crane? And then now I'm just staring up at the sky. I'm drooling. Like, fireworks and cranes blow my mind. Not sports related. Just want to share that with the listeners.
I'm glad you got that out, dude.
Yeah.
I felt like you've been waiting years to say that.
I don't know. I thought maybe you'd have my back and be like, yeah, man, cranes are pretty cool. I don't need anyone
dude, you're on your own.
It's okay. Cranes have my back. They're everywhere. I know
Cranes are always there to pick me up when I'm feeling down. You who doesn't pick me up? You, Jessica. You.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess sorry to go on jump back in from my side tangent.
Oh,
yeah,
what was I was talking about my
sport
dad.
Of playing with, what sport would you play with your dad? Because I think surfing is my answer. That or my other one is curling. He cuts hair, so you gotta have real straight lines. So I think he'd be pretty nice at like sliding it down. He's probably slid a lot of beers down bars in his life too. So
well, I mean, I don't want to play anything contact with my father.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my dad. I mean, granted, he's been dead a long time, but
yeah.
Nothing contact.
What if you and your dad were?
That's if he was fully healthy. He got fucked up in Vietnam.
Yeah, but then here's something he doesn't even need to be fully healthy for. You guys could be a duo of demolition derby racers. That'd be sick.
You imagine the car big enough to hold my fucking dad?
Dude, that's would be cool. Like, he has a giant car and you have like a slightly smaller car.
I have like a Kia Soul.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah,
my dad's in a Humvee.
Yeah, they're two like box-shaped cars. It works. You know what I mean? You guys could be a force to reckon with. Touring the South, wrecking people's shit.
I remember my dad trying to teach me how to fight.
Yeah.
And my dad was huge, man. He had these fucking lunch boxes for hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, what I always do is when they come up, you just bop them on the top of the head like that, and they just fall down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, that works for you because you say fee, fi, fo, fum before you do it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if I do that to them, they're just going to fucking smoke a cigarette after.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to jack them off, dude. I'm going
to. Yeah, these aren't mashing hands. These are jacking hands.
These are jacking hands, dude. You get out of conflict with your fist your way, and I'll get out of conflict with my fist my way.
Yeah, you have jack and hammer. I have jacking off. That's all you could do. Yeah, Dad, we're not the same in this situation. I can't fucking help you.
Oh man, Dad, we are not the same.
No. Yeah, I don't. I do feel that is also the tie-in of all the LeBron James and Bronny James Jr. shit is like, I feel bad for him. I had friends that like their dad was the coach and he was a good coach and a good dad and did his best to keep that boundary, but it still sucks. There are still those moments where that line gets blurred and it's like, hey, I'm going to yell at you a little harder because you're my son and I can. And like, you're held to a higher standard. And no matter if he was on his team or not, he already had to be compared to LeBron James.
I know.
And now you have to play side by side him and people can check the box score and he's doing the in between the G League and stuff. It's almost to the point where, unfortunately, I'm kind of like rooting for Bronny James Jr. because he really got the short end of the stick. But also, I can't feel too bad you're getting to play in the NBA when you probably should be in Shanghai.
And he had an amazing NIL deal, you know what I mean, with USC.
He made like $5 million a year.
He did have the heart issue. He almost died.
Yeah.
That's real. And
yeah.
you kind of feel for him on that. It's like, how hard did this kid push himself is the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to live up to the huge shadow his father casts.
Yeah. I will say I do I like LeBron. I don't hate him. I think some people hate him. I'm a big LeBron guy. I loved – did you see the clip of him talking shit?
Yeah.
So for those who didn't see it, he's Ruri Hachimura takes like a contested paint shot and misses, and then they call a timeout, and they go to the bench, and LeBron just goes, Ruri, swing, swing, swing. Motherfucker, I've made the last 10 in a row. Pass me the goddamn ball. Don't take no contested two.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that at 39 years old, LeBron is still calling heat checks for himself. He is that nasty. Anthony Davis is playing out of his fucking mind.
The Lakers look like a real contender
JJ
this year.
Redick looks like a real coach.
Yeah, he looks like a real coach.
Shout out him.
And I hate that.
But I hate it, but also it's a little back. Thank God we're getting some younger coaches. Why do coaches have to be 55 years old and become gritty and jaded and miserable because they coached at St. Mary's Prep? Why would you not take someone who knows the game the best, a guy who is in the league, a veteran of the league, 10-plus years? And
that's the Kidd argument. That's why Jason Kidd has been a coach. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was a very bad example, though. But that team was worse. That he was set up for less of success. We've now seen the super team is dead in the NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean, every team became a super team.
People are too good. There's now it used to be there was 8 elite players. Now there's so many freak athletes that it's like, oh yeah, the Wizards suck, but Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are still freak athletes. Jeremiah Grant is like a crazy high-flying point guard. They're not nobodies.
Well, I feel like every NBA team that's like a contender, has a big three.
Yeah, 100%. 100. You have to have a big three, but it's even like the Lakers are a contender, and it's LeBron, AD, and then it's out for interpretation. Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Connect.
I mean, really, they have the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's two, and then about 3 role players. But then, I mean, it also depends on how big the ships are for the two superstars, or for the superstars, because you could say Middleton, Giannis, and Lillard is a big three, but is Middleton a superstar? No, it's kind of like an all-star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you got AD and you got LeBron, you got 2 fucking superstars.
Exactly.
And so anybody next to them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. An all-star is going to pale in comparison.
Yeah, and I think people forget that. I'm excited today. I guess anyone who's listening to this, it'll have passed. So I hope everyone had a good day today. Today, Monday, is one of the few days all year where we have football, basketball, baseball, and hockey all on today.
Yep.
All 4. We got Monday Night Football, Game 3 of the World Series, and then early season action of NHL and NBA.
What do you want to watch the most tonight?
The World Series. The World Series is just really phenomenal. If the Yankees lose, they're getting swept. The series is over if they don't win this game.
Yeah, and seeing Judge going hitless has kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why everybody's watching right now. You want to see Judge go yard, dude.
You couldn't win with Cole. You couldn't win with Cole. You lose on a walk-off grand slam that you were so close to being off. And then even this second game, I don't know how close you watched, but they have that. Looks like a game-winning home run that the guy, which was it was the correct call, 100% fan interference. But they get out of that inning, and then even for before was it who hit the walk-off home run this last game? It was Toscar Hernandez, right? Did it
I think
or someone?
so.
Yeah, like even before the walk-off happens, they get Ohtani to fly out. The guy goes over the railing into the fans to make the catch, and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna get out of runners in second and third. This is crazy. And then they walk someone to get to Mookie hits him in, I think it was, or something. But either way, just crazy that the Dodgers are up. I'm most excited about that. We got to wrap here soonish. We got to recap a little bit. Crazy week in the NFL.
It was an absolute insane week. Ravens going down to the Browns, biggest shock. Jameis Winston might be the greatest leader in the history of mankind.
Yeah. Great Eminem style speech, mom spaghetti ass speech.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. You only get one shot to blow. It's your opportunity. Once in a lifetime. You better.
Am I being a bitch ass hater if I'm saying I'm starting to get annoyed by Jameis Winston?
You know, Jameis Winston is the preacher that's too good at preaching.
Okay. Yeah, you're like, yeah, Father, like you have great sermons, but also this doesn't need to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I get it, dude. We feel the Lord.
Yeah. I don't need to lecture every time we talk.
You're doing your job.
I just asked if we had service on Friday. We've now been talking for 20 minutes, and you've been telling me how, like, it's on Friday, but it's the beginning of a week, and every day is the new day of a week, and any week can start on a new day, and only you could choose your path. And I'm hungry. I only have 20 minutes of lunch left now.
Could you just pass the fucking offering plate?
Yeah, I'll give you more money if you let me leave.
If you let me leave, I'll throw more. Yeah, that's the way we feel about Jameis now. But it is slightly annoying, and it's funny that like it's not necessarily like I don't think it's people try to say it's a culture thing. You know, people try to say that, well, we don't like it. I fucking loved Ray Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
The way Ray Lewis let out, it was never corny.
No.
It never felt like it was coming from a super righteous place. It was a gritty, mean, dirty, let's go to fucking war kind of like bringing you into the game and hyping you up.
Yep.
It wasn't the kind of fake motivational, and I think that's what it feels. It feels disingenuous. I think that's the best way to describe it. As you know, he's being genuine.
But he's also purposefully choosing like cliche and pop culture quotes like an Eminem reference.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, even dude, like this is.
It feels forced.
We talked about this last week. Hey, Jameis, you had to defend Deshaun when he went down. It's you're media trained. You got to defend it. Before the game, he was like, "Hey, it's really important to vote," and then posted that he wrote in and voted Deshaun Watson as a write-in vote. I mean, one. Like, okay, now, like, not to be, like, loser and political, but, like, if voting is really important, you're making it a joke.
Yeah.
And then, two, congrats, you're writing in a rapist's name. Like, what is the point here? Also, congrats, 3, you have sexual assault allegations. Stop posting about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Stop. It looks bad. Stop defending him.
You know he does not have a PR team as a backup quarterback.
No, you can't. If I was Jameis's PR team, I would have quit already.
Absolutely.
I would have quit after the crab legs. I'd have been like, what are you doing?
Florida State.
Some guy's paying you $180,000 a year under the table. Go buy crab legs, asshole.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. The week for the underdogs, because, I mean, the Eagles win. They're underdogs.
The Eagles
Browns win. I mean, I guess Dallas was the underdogs, but that game was way closer than it actually was.
There was another upset too. Jacksonville.
The Jets lost.
The Jets lost to New England. Yeah,
they were big. I made like a 7-leg piss drunk parlay where I put like $3 to win like 50, and I hit everything except the 2 worst odds I added were the Ravens at -490 and the fucking Jets at like -420, like because they were such favorites. Both lost.
Yeah.
Crazy week of upsets.
I mean, my question to you is, who do you think so far is the biggest disappointment in the NFL? And, I mean, to name 3 teams, right? Let's see, the Jets, because there's a lot of hype around them with Rodgers coming back and their defense looking the way it looked. Dallas always has an absolute insane amount of hype around it. And then, Cincinnati, I think, is one of those teams that we expected to be in contention with the team that they have.
Yeah, I think I think you got to say that the Jets. It's the Jets are by far the worst. The thing with the Bengals, like I know I was giving them shit for losing to the Eagles early on in this pod and stuff. They're in a tough division. No one thought the Steelers would be good. They have the Ravens in their division. You know, they are a disappointment. But it's like you have all this drama with Jamar Chase. I think he missed a week too, if I remember correct, like with an injury. T. Higgins hasn't played. Their defense fucking sucks, and it has sucked.
And they've got one of the sack leaders on their defense too, in Henderson.
Yeah, he's good. He's a nasty little white boy, but like he's they're a disappointment, but they're still like not out of it for some reasons. He can't be. The Jets had a better record with Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean Aaron Rodgers looks really bad.
He looks old.
He looks old. I mean, granted, there are some plays where receivers are fucking him over and completely dropping balls and making it, look really bad. But
I'm honestly like I'm a fan of A-Rod to a pretty big degree, as much as you can be. I was never a Green Bay fan.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Aaron Rodgers as a personality.
Yes.
I love the ayahuasca retreat. I love the darkness retreat.
Yes.
I love that shit. I think, challenge yourself. Push yourself to the edge because you're playing a sport that requires that mentally. So naturally, if you're doing this, in your personal life, you do anything you can to be successful and give yourself the edge. I think Aaron Rodgers kind of forgot that famous Rocky quote where, the Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
He's never lost. He will get everybody. And you're coming back from a very difficult injury that's difficult to come back from if you're 24, 25, 26.
Yeah.
An Achilles tear or an Achilles rupture is a serious fucking injury. You don't have the confidence on that leg that you used to have. Your arm isn't what it was.
No.
You can't there are different sports, especially basketball and baseball, where as you age, you can change the way you play the game. The way you play changes. You know what I mean? Whereas Jordan, when he got older, he took more pull-up shots. He didn't go to the basket as much. He wasn't driving and slashing like he was in his younger years. He shot the three more. Those kind of things happen. You can change your game. The NFL is one of those games where as you get older, it's difficult to change the way you play the game because you have to play the game such a physical and certain way.
Well, and then everyone around you is playing the game the way young people do.
Absolutely.
I mean, almost every new quarterback is like mobile in some capacity and can throw on the run and is athletic and like quick. Like there's very few and far quarterbacks running 4.9s and 5 flats and going first round overall anymore. They have some, at worst it's like, oh, he ran a 4.7. They're fast guys. Teams are figuring out that they can just blitz him.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do because the O-line's not good enough to pick it up. He doesn't have enough time to throw. He's not mobile. His arm's not quick enough like it used to be. All the things you were saying. And I think the thing with the Jets, like, no one's been too hard on them this season, and that's fine. Even after the last loss, it was like, okay, they got Devontae now. They got Hassan Reddick back. It's that panic moment. And like, hey, let's not be naive. How many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers look out and then win 8 of his last 9 games?
Yep.
But this Patriots loss was the nail in the coffin.
I don't know
to lose Drake May halfway through the game and
still
lose to Jacoby Brissett
Yeah.
is unacceptable. They scored, what, like 15 points or something?
I know.
They're bad.
I always have a little bit of sympathy for a defense having to face a quarterback that they didn't prepare for.
Yes.
But with a great defense, it doesn't matter.
With Jacoby Brissett, it doesn't matter.
He
sucks.
He's still, say what you want. He's still an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it just is. It can't, like that. Like you were saying, it can't be an excuse this time.
Yeah.
You can't, because you guys are supposed to be an elite defense. Jacoby Brissett is a bad quarterback. This team was the number 1 overall pick if the NFL draft happened on Saturday. They were the worst team. They were lower than the Panthers in point differential and all that, and you lost to them.
The way you said Panthers was so sympathetic. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to like shit on you, but like, to put it in perspective, like you realize the Patriots have been a horrible team, and Drake May made them actually look decent, and he got hurt, and you still lost to him. I mean, there were like whispers of Gerard Mayo getting fired a week ago.
Yeah.
And now it's like
because he called the team soft,
Mm-hmm.
and it bothered a lot of people.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick even came out and spoke out against that, where he was like, no,
That was crazy.
Yeah, they weren't soft last year, bitch.
Yeah. Maybe you're soft. But,
yeah.
I mean, good win for them. Crazy week in the NFL. You were saying, have we ever seen a division as good as the NFC North? We'll wrap on that. No, but this is a tough week. Last week, great claim. This week, bad claim. I mean, Vikings lose to the Rams.
Yeah, I still think that division is the
Bears
best division.
Lose to the Commanders.
Yeah, but the Bears lost to the Commanders, man. You can't. The Bears played a hell of a game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The guy doing jumping jacks or taunting the crowd before the Hail Mary and stuff. I mean, that's a brutal look.
Yeah.
And the Commanders are good, and like I'm not front on the Bears. The Vikings, I think, are coming back down a little to reality here a bit.
Yeah. I think the inflation of their the Sam Darnold thing.
I think also offensive coordinators aren't morons and are going like, oh hey Brian Flores, like blitz god, I respect it, but like we're not just gonna let you beat us with the blitz every game.
No,
we're gonna figure out how to beat it.
Not when a team has Puka and Cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when you get those two back, it's
Lions looked like the best team in the NFL yesterday.
I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL. I mean, after Baltimore gets beat last week, other than the Chiefs, you know what I mean? Of course, you can make an argument for the Chiefs, but I know.
Makes me so mad.
I know.
How is he leading the league in interceptions and they're 7-0?
It's because it's a good team.
It's not fair.
It's a good team.
It's not fair.
When a team figures out winning football, you get a culture of winning, it becomes contagious. And it just becomes something that is expected. It's something that you do. You just go win.
Yeah,
and you find ways to win. You program your brain like that. I think the Chiefs have kind of done that.
It's devastating, though. It's the Jesse Pinkman meme. You can't keep getting away with it. Like that's how I feel watching the Chiefs. It's sickening.
Yeah.
All they do is win. They're so good. Chris Jones is an animal.
Chris Jones.
They're winning with. And here's the fucking bullshit part, dude. Patrick Mahomes is gonna start playing better at some point this season, and we're so fucked.
I know.
To end it on a positive note,
the Chiefs might repeat.
Fuck the Chiefs. To put it on a positive note, fuck you. 0-4 to 4-4. Our fantasy team's so fucking back.
Well, hold on.
No, dude, we overcome death. Everyone on our team is dead. We told you guys last week. Ayuk died. Fucking Deontay Johnson was out. We won with Michael Pittman Jr. and Ricky Purcell.
Yeah. Granted, we faced Gareth.
Yeah, but still, dude, we're winning. We're climbing up. God, it was so sweet. I ran into the last place team, Joe Begley, and I go, oh, nice job. Start was on Thursday, and I go, great job starting Puka, and he goes, hey, fuck you, buddy. Your team's the worst team in the league, and I go, I got to villain laugh in his face. I went, and he was like, what are you laughing? I go, oh, honey, have you looked at the standings? And like, I watched him realize he hadn't. He goes, what? And I go, oh, me and John are in 5th place, and we're going to win again this week, and we're going to move to 4th. We're in the playoffs. You are falling farther and farther behind. And he was like, no. And I go, oh, buddy, I get to write your set for Good Evening News. I hope you're ready to say the N-word on Good Evening News, you fucking sack of shit. You thought it was so funny when you said you were going to make me do it. You're fucked. And then it was the most vindicating feeling, because are we going to win the whole thing? No. Our team's too fucking dead, dude. Everyone on our team gets hurt and dies.
Yeah, we're done.
But we're going to make playoffs. We're not going to come in last.
Maybe we can trade Brooks, I'm thinking, when he gets healthy for a receiver, because we need a receiver so fucking bad.
Yeah. No, we're going to keep winning the waiver wire. Just got Pittman Jr. I know he had a bad week.
Yeah.
We're going to get that fucking Browns
We
receiver.
need to get Tillman.
Yeah. Exactly. We just took the words. Yeah, exactly. That guy. We're going to get him.
Absolutely.
It's going to be all right. Fuck you, Joe Begley.
We got to do one more. I know it's running long.
Yeah, what's up?
But there's one more thing. I can't not talk about it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We have to talk about that fucking Dwayne Wade statue.
Oh, yes.
I was going to get into it when we were talking basketball, but we ended up segueing into something else.
Have you saw crazy video, crazy bad statue reveal. It looks nothing like him.
Yeah, it looks. We will put out a clip about this.
Yeah.
But the statue it's as bad. Did you see the Cristiano Ronaldo statue?
Yes, it's up there with Cristiano's statue.
It's up there with Cristiano's statue.
And the fucking Commanders statue for who's the legendary dude that died? LT?
Oh, Sean Taylor.
And then Sean Taylor, yes. They did the statue for him. and he has like a wire body and there's no face. It's just a fucking mannequin with a jersey on. It's the big three now are the D Wade statue, the Sean Taylor
and
statue,
the Cristiano
Ronaldo busts are top three worst busts.
The D Wade statue, it looks like an ad for an anti-diarrhea campaign.
Yeah, dude. Yes,
he
it's
looks like
he's
taking the most painful shit I've ever seen a human.
He also
take.
looks like coated. Like remember when Augustus is like in the chocolate in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he's like, "Help, help me, please!" And he's like trying. Has that like he doesn't look like he's like he looks like he's like but he's like covered in something.
He looks like he's frozen in the back of fucking Boba Fett's ship.
Dude, he does look like in Jabba's palace, just frozen in carbonite by Boba Fett. It was
straight
fucking,
up.
Yes.
It's insane what that looks like.
I need a Photoshop of Alibaba as Boba Fett. Boba Fett is hilarious. Oh shit. Dude.
Oh man.
Yeah, he does look exactly like Han Solo in carbonite. That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
I can't believe I have a Star Wars tattoo on me and I didn't see that. That is the most accurate comparison. Fuck the Augustus Gloop thing. Yes, he is carbonite Han Solo. And there's the sad video.
Dude, he is on his way to Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. And there's that sad video where he's at the statue reveal and you could tell he's trying to do his best to be like, "Oh no, babe, I totally wanted the book for Christmas. This is a great gift."
Yeah, thank you guys so much for doing a statue that looks just like me.
Oh, this is so fucking horrible.
And then he turns around and goes, "I don't even know who that is."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we don't either, dude.
No, it's...
Who made that statue? We got to find the person that made that statue and fucking... We don't need to dox them, but we definitely need to like put them out there where it's like, hey man, have you ever actually seen a picture of D Wade?
It's borderline racist where it's like, did you just like get a JPEG image of a black man?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you just think that all black people look the same? That looks nothing like him.
It looks nothing like D Wade.
It looks like Louis Armstrong letting a note rip. Like it's wild, bro. It is.
He looks like he's finishing his solo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, totally. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a horrible statue. Poor D Wade.
We had to talk about
legendary guy. Fucking. I don't know, man. Tough look. Tough statue. Last note on this. We can make replicas of women's pussies to fuck, but we can't get a statue that
looks like an athlete. Yeah,
dude, I can get a carbon mold of Riley Reid's coochie, but you can't make Dwayne Wade look like himself.
Oh man, I can get a fleshlight that looks like Jenna Jameson, but you can't make a fucking accurate image of somebody that's alive.
Yeah, I could 3D print Trump's gooch right now more accurately than you can make a D Wade. Like, that's crazy.
Just dip his face in wax or something and go off of that.
Yeah. Sorry, man. D Wade, if D Wade ever comes on this pod, we'll make an accurate statue of him for the podcast and we'll put it there for every episode. That's my promise to you, Dwayne, if you ever come on. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. Fucking another fun episode. Technically Foul, episode 9. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep showing love on the clips.
Yeah, the clips have been great. Thank you guys so much. We've got over like 14,000 shares on our reels on Instagram. For everybody that's on Instagram that's been helping us out, thank you. We really, 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 really appreciate it. And yeah, this has been another great episode of Technically Foul. Tune in.
It's a technical foul.
It's a technical foul.
That's a technical foul.